In the dimly lit bar, ambient music hummed softly as patrons mingled. The interstellar port city was a melting pot of species, a testament to the new age of cooperation and coexistence. Neon signs flickered above, casting colorful reflections on the polished bar counter. Kalara, a Zeltran with silver skin and bioluminescent eyes, sat alone, her gaze sweeping the room. She sipped her drink, feeling out of place among the humans and other aliens. Her mission on Earth had been successful. But tonight, she wanted to blend in, to experience the planet's nightlife. The Zeltran enjoyed a unique drink that shimmered like liquid mercury, and she savored its unfamiliar taste. Across the room, Jake, a human with a rugged charm, noticed Kalara's otherworldly beauty. Intrigued by her presence, he found himself drawn to her. The way her eyes glowed softly in the dim light was mesmerizing, and he felt an inexplicable urge to know her story. Gathering his courage, Jake approached her, a friendly smile playing on his lips. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, his voice cutting through her reverie. He gestured to the empty stool beside her. Kalara looked up, her luminescent eyes locking onto his. There was a moment of silence as she assessed him, her expression inscrutable. "Sure," she finally replied, her voice melodic and soothing, as she gestured to the seat opposite her. Jake sat down, feeling a strange mix of excitement and nervousness. "I'm Jake," he introduced himself, extending a hand. "Kalara," she responded, shaking his hand. Her touch was cool, almost electric, and he couldn't help but notice the intricate patterns that glowed faintly on her skin. They struck up a conversation, their initial small talk giving way to more meaningful exchanges. Kalara shared tales of her home planet, Zeltra, a world of bioluminescent forests and crystalline seas. She described the beauty of her people's cities, which blended seamlessly with nature, and the advanced technology that powered their civilization. Jake, in turn, regaled her with stories of Earth, from its bustling cities to its diverse landscapes. He spoke of the Grand Canyon, the Sahara Desert, and the bustling streets of New York City. As he talked, Kalara listened intently, her eyes widening with wonder and curiosity. "Earth sounds incredible," Kalara said, her voice filled with genuine awe. "So diverse and full of life." "It is," Jake agreed, "but it's even more incredible meeting someone like you. I've never met a Zeltran before." Kalara smiled, a soft, glowing warmth spreading across her face. "And I've never met a human quite like you, Jake." The conversation flowed effortlessly, and Kalara found herself mesmerized by Jake's charisma. His laughter was infectious, and his stories about Earth were fascinating. She felt a strange pull towards him, a feeling she couldn't quite explain. Every time he laughed or his eyes sparkled with enthusiasm, her heart seemed to skip a beat. Jake, on the other hand, was captivated by Kalara's ethereal beauty and her intriguing tales of Zeltran culture. He found himself drawn to her in a way he hadn't felt before. Her eyes, glowing softly, seemed to peer into his very soul, and her smile was a beacon of light in the dim bar. As the bar began to empty, Jake glanced at his watch. It was much later than he had realized. "It's getting late," he said reluctantly, not wanting the night to end. "Do you want to get out of here and maybe grab some coffee? There's a great little cafe nearby that's open late." Kalara hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "I'd like that," she said, her voice soft but eager. The thought of spending more time with Jake filled her with a warmth she had never known. They left the bar and walked through the bustling streets of the port city, the cool night air invigorating. The city was alive with activity, a vibrant blend of cultures and species. Neon lights cast colorful glows on the sidewalk, and the sounds of laughter and conversation filled the air. As they walked, their hands brushed accidentally, sending a jolt of electricity through both of them. They shared a quick, awkward glance before both laughing softly. The unspoken attraction between them was undeniable, and the air was thick with anticipation. They found the cafe Jake had mentioned, a quaint place with a cozy atmosphere. The smell of freshly brewed coffee greeted them as they stepped inside. They chose a secluded corner table, away from the prying eyes of other patrons, and continued their conversation over steaming cups of coffee. Kalara's eyes glowed softly in the dim light, and Jake couldn't help but stare. "You're really something else, you know that?" he said, his voice full of admiration. Kalara blushed, her luminescence intensifying. "Thank you, Jake. I feel the same about you." Her voice was sincere, and her heart pounded in her chest. Their hands brushed again, this time deliberately, and they held each other's gaze. There was a moment of silence, the air thick with unspoken feelings. Neither of them wanted to rush things, but the connection they felt was undeniable. As the night grew later, they reluctantly decided to part ways, promising to meet again soon. Jake walked Kalara back to her quarters, and as they stood outside her door, they shared a lingering look. "Good night, Kalara," Jake said softly, his eyes full of warmth. "Good night, Jake," Kalara replied, her voice barely above a whisper. She leaned in and kissed him on the cheek, her touch light as a feather. They walked through the bustling streets of the port city, the cool night air invigorating their senses. The sky above was a canvas of stars twinkling brightly against the inky blackness. Jake and Kalara strolled side by side, their conversation continuing effortlessly. The city's nightlife thrived around them, a vibrant tapestry of sights and sounds. As they wandered, Jake pointed out various landmarks. "This is the old clock tower," he said, gesturing to a towering structure bathed in golden light. "It's been here for over a century." Kalara looked up, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's beautiful," she murmured. "There's so much history here." They eventually found themselves at a quaint cafe tucked away on a quiet street. The cafe had an old-world charm, with wooden furniture and soft, ambient lighting. They chose a corner table by the window where they could watch the world go by. As they sat down, a friendly barista approached them. "What can I get for you tonight?" she asked with a warm smile. "I'll have a black coffee," Jake said, then looked at Kalara. "What about you?" Kalara scanned the menu, her eyes lighting up when she saw something intriguing. "I'll try the lavender tea," she decided. The barista nodded and left to prepare their drinks. Jake and Kalara continued their conversation, delving deeper into their personal lives. Jake shared stories about his childhood, his love for adventure, and his dream of exploring the galaxy. Kalara listened intently, her fascination with Jake growing with each passing moment. She found his passion and enthusiasm infectious. "You have such a zest for life," she remarked. "It's inspiring." Jake smiled, feeling a warm glow inside. "I guess I just love discovering new things," he said, "like meeting you." Kalara blushed, her luminescent eyes glowing brighter. "I'm glad we met too," she replied softly. Their drinks arrived, and they continued talking late into the night. Kalara's lavender tea was a fragrant, calming blend, and she savored each sip. Jake's coffee was strong and invigorating, just the way he liked it. They shared stories, laughed, and found themselves lost in each other's company. At one point, their hands brushed again, and this time, they didn't pull away. They held each other's gaze, the connection between them palpable. The world outside the cafe seemed to fade away, leaving just the two of them in their little corner of the universe. As the hours passed, they realized it was getting late. Reluctantly, they decided it was time to part ways for the night. Jake walked Kalara back to her temporary quarters, their pace slow as they tried to prolong their time together. When they reached her door, there was a moment of hesitation. They stood close, the night air cool against their skin. Kalara looked up at Jake, her eyes filled with a mix of emotions. "Thank you for tonight," she said. "I had a wonderful time." "So did I," Jake replied, his voice warm and sincere. "Can we do this again soon?" Kalara smiled, her heart fluttering. "I'd like that," she said softly. Before he left, Jake leaned in and kissed her cheek, a gentle, lingering touch. Kalara's skin glowed brighter at the contact, a radiant smile spreading across her face. "Good night, Kalara," Jake said, his voice filled with affection. "Good night, Jake," Kalara replied, watching him walk away. She stood at her door for a moment, a sense of happiness and excitement filling her heart. The next morning, Kalara awoke with a smile, the events of the previous night playing in her mind like a beautiful dream. She stretched and got out of bed, feeling a lightness she hadn't felt in a long time. The morning sun streamed through her window, casting a warm glow on her silver skin. She prepared for the day, her thoughts drifting back to Jake. Their conversation had been effortless, their connection undeniable. She felt an unfamiliar flutter in her chest, a mix of excitement and apprehension. She wondered what the future held for them, but for now, she was content to savor the memory of their night together. Meanwhile, Jake couldn't stop thinking about Kalara. As he got ready for work, he replayed their conversations, her laughter, and the way her eyes glowed when she smiled. He found himself checking his phone, hoping for a message from her. His heart skipped a beat when his phone buzzed with a new notification. It was a message from Kalara. "Good morning, Jake. I had a wonderful time last night. Would you like to meet again today?" Jake's face broke into a grin. He quickly replied, suggesting they meet at a nearby park. He felt a surge of excitement, eager to see her again. Kalara's heart skipped a beat when she saw his reply. She quickly got ready, choosing a simple yet elegant outfit that complemented her bioluminescent features. She couldn't wait to see Jake again and continue their conversation. They met at the park, the sun shining brightly in a clear blue sky. The park was lush and green, with colorful flowers in full bloom. Birds chirped merrily, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the trees. Jake spotted Kalara first, standing by a beautiful fountain. Her silver skin seemed to shimmer in the sunlight, and her eyes glowed softly. He felt a rush of warmth as he approached her. "Hi, Kalara," he greeted, his smile wide and genuine. "Hi, Jake," Kalara replied, her eyes lighting up at the sight of him. "This place is beautiful." "I'm glad you like it," Jake said. "I thought it would be a nice spot for us to spend some time together." They began to walk through the park, their conversation picking up where it had left off the previous night. Jake showed Kalara the beauty of Earth, from its diverse flora to its stunning landscapes. They strolled along winding paths, stopping to admire the vibrant flowers and towering trees. Kalara shared more about her life on Zeltra, the challenges and wonders of her home planet. She described the intricate beauty of the bioluminescent forests, the way they glowed in the night, creating a breathtaking spectacle. She spoke of the advanced technology that allowed her people to live in harmony with nature. As they walked, they discovered a shared love for adventure and exploration. Jake talked about his dream of visiting other planets, experiencing different cultures, and seeing the wonders of the universe. Kalara, in turn, expressed her fascination with Earth's rich history and diverse cultures. Their bond deepened with each passing moment. They found themselves finishing each other's sentences, laughing at the same jokes, and sharing a mutual appreciation for the beauty around them. The connection between them was undeniable, a blend of curiosity, admiration, and a growing affection. As the afternoon turned to evening, they found a quiet spot by a serene lake. They sat down on a bench, watching the sun set over the water, casting a golden glow on the surface. The moment was perfect, filled with a sense of peace and contentment. Kalara turned to Jake, her eyes glowing softly in the fading light. "I've never felt this way before," she confessed. "It's all so new to me, but it feels right." Jake took her hand, his touch gentle and reassuring. "I feel the same way, Kalara," he said. "I'm glad we met, and I can't wait to see where this goes." They sat together in comfortable silence, watching as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. The future was uncertain, but for now they had each other, and that was more than enough. The days that followed their park visit were filled with excitement and anticipation. Kalara and Jake spent as much time together as their schedules allowed, each encounter deepening their bond. They explored the city, sharing their thoughts and dreams while discovering new places. One sunny afternoon, they visited the botanical gardens. The gardens were a riot of colors, with exotic flowers from various planets in full bloom. Kalara marveled at the vibrant display, her bioluminescent eyes reflecting the beauty around her. "These flowers are incredible," Kalara said, gently touching a delicate petal. "I've never seen such diversity." Jake smiled, watching her with admiration. "Earth has its wonders, just like Zeltra. I'm glad I get to share them with you." They wandered through the gardens, their conversation flowing effortlessly. Jake shared his passion for nature and his desire to protect the environment, while Kalara spoke of Zeltra's advanced ecological technologies. As they walked, they came across a secluded gazebo surrounded by blooming roses. They sat down, enjoying the serene atmosphere. Jake reached into his bag and pulled out a small box. "I have something for you," he said, opening the box to reveal a delicate necklace with a pendant shaped like a star. "I saw this and thought of you." Kalara's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. "It's beautiful, Jake. Thank you." She leaned in and kissed his cheek, her touch sending a shiver down his spine. He helped her put on the necklace, and she touched the pendant, feeling a warmth in her heart. "This means a lot to me," she said softly. "I feel so connected to you, even though we're from different worlds." Jake took her hand, his eyes filled with emotion. "I feel the same way, Kalara. Being with you feels right, like we were meant to find each other." They spent the rest of the day in the gardens, their connection growing stronger with each passing moment. By the time they left, they both knew that their bond was something truly special. Their budding romance wasn't without its challenges. Kalara's mission on Earth required her to maintain a low profile, and her superiors were wary of her growing attachment to a human. The Zeltran Council valued discretion and had strict protocols for interactions with other species. One evening, as they strolled along the waterfront, Kalara received a message on her communicator. She glanced at it, her expression turning serious. "Is everything okay?" Jake asked, noticing the change in her demeanor. Kalara sighed, looking out at the water. "It's a message from my superiors. They're concerned about our relationship. They want me to return to Zeltra." Jake's heart sank at her words. "What does that mean for us?" Kalara turned to him, her eyes filled with worry. "I don't know. I want to stay, but my duty to my people is important. They don't understand what we have." Jake took her hands in his grip firm and reassuring. "We can figure this out together. We'll find a way to make them see that our relationship is a good thing." Kalara nodded, drawing strength from his determination. "You're right. We can't give up without trying." Determined not to lose each other, Kalara and Jake devised a plan. They would petition the Zeltran Council for permission to continue their relationship, arguing that their bond could strengthen interspecies relations. It was a risky move, but they were willing to fight for their love. Kalara prepared a compelling case, gathering evidence of successful interspecies collaborations and testimonials from allies. Jake helped her refine her arguments, using his knowledge of human diplomacy to strengthen their position. With Jake's support, Kalara sent their petition to the council, requesting an audience to present their case in person. The wait for a response was agonizing, each day filled with uncertainty and tension. Finally, the council replied, granting them a trial period to prove the worth of their relationship. Kalara and Jake were allowed to remain together, but under strict supervision. They would be monitored closely, and any misstep could lead to their separation. Relieved but aware of the challenges ahead, Kalara and Jake vowed to make the most of their time together. They focused on their shared goal of fostering understanding and cooperation between their species, hoping that their love could pave the way for a brighter future. Despite the obstacles, their dedication only grew stronger. They became advocates for interspecies relationships, speaking at conferences and working on joint projects. Their efforts began to change minds, slowly gaining support from both humans and Zeltrans. Determined not to lose each other, Kalara and Jake decided to make their case to the Zeltran Council in person. They prepared meticulously, gathering evidence and testimonies to prove that their relationship could benefit both their species. The journey to Zeltra was fraught with uncertainty. As their spacecraft approached the alien planet, Jake marveled at the sight of its bioluminescent forests and crystalline seas. It was a breathtaking world, vastly different from Earth, yet undeniably beautiful. Upon landing, they were escorted to the council chamber, a grand hall illuminated by soft, glowing light. The council members, with their distinguished silver skin and glowing eyes, regarded them with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Kalara stepped forward, her voice steady and clear. "Honorable council members, I stand before you today, not just as a representative of our people, but as someone who has found a profound connection with a human. I believe our relationship can be a bridge between our worlds, fostering understanding and cooperation." Jake stood beside her, feeling the weight of their mission. "I know this is unconventional, but our bond is genuine. Together, we've seen how much our species can learn from each other. We ask for your support in allowing us to continue our relationship." The council members exchanged glances, their expressions unreadable. After a tense silence, the council leader spoke. "We will grant you a trial period to prove the worth of your relationship. You will be closely monitored, and any deviation from our protocols will result in immediate separation." Relieved but aware of the challenges ahead, Kalara and Jake returned to Earth. They were determined to prove that their love could withstand any obstacle. Back on Earth, Kalara and Jake faced a new set of challenges. The news of their relationship spread quickly, attracting both support and criticism. While some praised their courage and vision, others viewed their bond with suspicion and hostility. One evening, as they walked through a crowded market, they overheard a group of humans whispering and pointing. "Isn't that the guy with the alien?" one man sneered. "What's he thinking?" Jake felt a surge of anger but kept his composure. Kalara squeezed his hand, her touch calming him. "We knew this wouldn't be easy," she said softly, "but we're in this together." Their determination was tested further when they encountered resistance from a faction of Zeltrons who opposed any form of human alliance. These extremists viewed humans as inferior and unpredictable, a threat to their way of life. One night, as they returned home from a late meeting, they were ambushed by a group of Zeltron extremists. The attackers, masked and armed, surrounded them in a dark alley. "Leave our world and never come back," one of them hissed, brandishing a weapon. Kalara stepped forward, her eyes glowing fiercely. "We will not be intimidated," she declared. "Our love is stronger than your hate." A fierce battle ensued. Kalara, using her advanced combat training, fought valiantly against the attackers. Jake, though outmatched in physical strength, used his wits and agility to protect Kalara, fighting with all his might. Despite their efforts, they were outnumbered and outmatched. Just when it seemed they might be overpowered, a group of Zeltron peacekeepers arrived, dispersing the extremists and ensuring Kalara and Jake's safety. Shaken but unharmed, Kalara and Jake knew the incident would have far-reaching consequences. The attack highlighted the deep-seated prejudices that still existed, and their fight for acceptance was far from over. Determined to turn the tide, they intensified their efforts. They continued to advocate for interspecies relationships, speaking at conferences and engaging in public dialogues. They collaborated on joint projects, demonstrating the benefits of cooperation and mutual respect. Their bravery and commitment began to change minds. Slowly but surely, they gained support from both humans and Zeltrons. People started to see the value in their relationship, viewing it as a symbol of hope and unity. The Council, impressed by their resilience and dedication, began to reconsider their stance. Kalara and Jake were granted more freedom to pursue their mission, their relationship no longer under constant scrutiny. Though they faced numerous challenges and setbacks, Kalara and Jake's love only grew stronger. They had proven that their bond could withstand any trial, and their determination to create a better future remained unshaken. After the ambush, support for Kalara and Jake surged among both humans and Zeltrons who believed in their cause. Their bravery in the face of danger became a symbol of the potential for unity between their species. The incident served as a catalyst, sparking a broader movement for acceptance and understanding. One morning, Kalara received a message from the Zeltron Council. They had decided to lift the strict supervision imposed on their relationship, acknowledging that their bond had the potential to foster peace and cooperation. Kalara read the message aloud to Jake, her voice filled with emotion. "The Council has decided to grant us more freedom to pursue our mission. They believe in us, Jake." Jake's face lit up with a mixture of relief and joy. "That's incredible news, Kalara. It means we're making a difference." Encouraged by this newfound support, they threw themselves into their advocacy work with renewed vigor. They organized events, seminars, and cultural exchange programs to bring humans and Zeltrons together. Their efforts began to bear fruit as more people joined their cause, advocating for a future where interspecies relationships were embraced rather than feared. One of their most significant achievements was the establishment of a joint research project aimed at combining human and Zeltran technologies. The project focused on sustainable energy solutions, leveraging the strengths of both species to create groundbreaking advancements. Kalara and Jake worked tirelessly, their passion driving them forward. They spent countless hours in labs and meeting rooms, collaborating with scientists and engineers from both worlds. Their dedication paid off when the project achieved its first major breakthrough, a new energy source that was both efficient and environmentally friendly. The success of the project garnered international attention, further validating their efforts. It was a tangible demonstration of what could be achieved when humans and Zeltrans work together, and it strengthened their argument for the value of their relationship. Despite their progress, Kalara and Jake knew that they still had much to prove. The initial enthusiasm for their cause began to wane as they encountered resistance from entrenched interests and skeptics who doubted the long-term viability of interspecies relationships. Determined to sustain the momentum, they decided to embark on a public speaking tour, sharing their story and advocating for acceptance and cooperation. They traveled to major cities on both Earth and Zeltra, speaking at universities, cultural centers, and government forums. During one of their talks at a prestigious Earth university, Kalara addressed a packed auditorium. "Our relationship is not just about us," she said, her voice resonating with conviction. "It's about what we can achieve together. It's about breaking down barriers and building a future where our differences make us stronger." Jake stood beside her, adding his perspective. "We have seen firsthand the incredible potential that lies in our collaboration. We believe that love and understanding can overcome prejudice and fear, but we need your support to make this vision a reality." Their message resonated with many, inspiring a wave of grassroots support. Students, activists, and everyday citizens began to rally behind their cause, organizing events and campaigns to promote interspecies unity. However, not everyone was convinced. At a high-profile debate hosted by a major media outlet, they faced fierce opposition from a prominent critic, Senator Maxwell. "This romanticized view of interspecies relationships is naive," Maxwell argued. "We must prioritize the interests of our own species. Mixing our cultures and technologies could lead to unforeseen consequences." Kalara responded with calm determination. "Senator, while your concerns are valid, we cannot ignore the opportunities that lie in our differences. Embracing diversity has always led to innovation and progress. Our relationship is living proof of that." The debate sparked intense discussion and brought their cause into the spotlight. While it polarized opinions, it also forced people to confront their biases and consider the potential benefits of greater interspecies collaboration. Undeterred by the controversy, Kalara and Jake continued their advocacy. They partnered with influential allies, including respected scientists, artists, and political leaders who supported their vision. Together, they launched a campaign to raise awareness about the importance of interspecies relationships and the positive impact they could have on society. Their efforts culminated in a major international conference on interspecies cooperation, held in the heart of the port city where they had first met. The conference brought together delegates from Earth and Zeltra, providing a platform for dialogue and collaboration. During the conference's keynote address, Kalara and Jake stood on stage, addressing a diverse audience of leaders and citizens. "This conference is a testament to what we can achieve when we come together," Kalara said, her voice filled with hope. "Our journey has not been easy, but it has shown us that love and unity can overcome any obstacle." Jake nodded, his eyes shining with conviction. "We are here today because we believe in a future where our species can coexist peacefully and thrive together. Let us continue to work towards that future, hand in hand." Their progress was significant, but the path to acceptance was still fraught with peril. Not everyone welcomed the changes Kalara and Jake were advocating. A faction of Zeltrans deeply opposed to human alliances grew more desperate and aggressive. This group, fearing the dilution of their culture and the potential dangers of integrating with humans, began to take drastic measures to sabotage their efforts. One night, as Kalara and Jake walked home from an event, they were ambushed by a group of Zeltran extremists. The attack was swift and brutal. Kalara, with her advanced combat training, managed to fend off several attackers, her bioluminescent eyes glowing fiercely in the darkness as she moved with precision and agility. Jake, despite being less physically capable, used his quick thinking to protect Kalara. He grabbed a metal rod from the ground and defended her, fighting with all his strength. The confrontation was chaotic and intense, with the odds heavily stacked against them. Just when it seemed they might be overwhelmed, a squad of Zeltran peacekeepers arrived, having been alerted by concerned citizens who witnessed the attack. The peacekeepers quickly subdued the extremists, ensuring Kalara and Jake's safety. Kalara and Jake were shaken, but unharmed. They knew this attack would have far-reaching consequences, highlighting the deep-seated prejudices that still existed. As they sat in the peacekeepers' vehicle, heading to a safe location, Kalara's resolve hardened. "We can't let fear and hatred win, Jake. We have to show them that our love is stronger than their hate." Jake squeezed her hand, his eyes filled with determination. "We're in this together, Kalara. We'll fight for our future no matter what." The attack galvanized support for Kalara and Jake. People from both species rallied behind them, calling for an end to prejudice and xenophobia. The media covered the incident extensively, painting a stark picture of the dangers they faced and the bravery they exhibited. The outpouring of support following the attack was overwhelming. Messages of solidarity flooded in from all corners of Earth and Zeltra. Many who had previously been silent or indifferent now spoke out in favor of unity and acceptance. The incident had forced people to confront the reality of the challenges faced by those in interspecies relationships and the bravery required to overcome them. In response to the growing public pressure, the Zeltran Council convened an emergency session to address the issue. After much deliberation, they decided to fully endorse Kalara and Jake's relationship, recognizing it as a symbol of hope and progress. The Council announced new policies to promote interspecies understanding and cooperation, including educational programs and cultural exchanges. With the Council's blessing, Kalara and Jake continued their work with renewed vigor. They established a foundation dedicated to supporting interspecies couples, offering resources, counseling, and advocacy. The foundation quickly gained traction, attracting supporters and volunteers eager to contribute to the cause. Kalara and Jake traveled extensively, visiting schools, community centers, and government institutions to speak about their experiences and the importance of unity. They shared their story of love and perseverance, inspiring countless others to embrace diversity and fight against prejudice. Their efforts led to tangible changes. Schools introduced curriculums that celebrated cultural differences and promoted mutual respect. Governments implemented policies to protect the rights of interspecies couples and ensure equal opportunities for all. One of their most impactful projects was the establishment of an interspecies cultural center in the heart of the port city where they had first met. The center served as a hub for learning, collaboration, and celebration of the diverse cultures that coexisted on Earth and Zeltra. It featured exhibits, workshops, and events designed to foster understanding and appreciation among different species. During the grand opening of the cultural center, Kalara and Jake stood before a large crowd, their hearts filled with pride and hope. The center was a tangible representation of their dreams and efforts, a beacon of unity in a world that had once seemed divided. Kalara addressed the crowd, her voice steady and clear. "This center is not just a building. It's a testament to what we can achieve when we come together. It's a place where we can learn from each other, celebrate our differences, and build a future where everyone is valued and respected." Jake added, "Our journey hasn't been easy, but it's shown us that love and understanding can overcome any obstacle. This center is a symbol of that belief. Let's continue to work together, to learn from each other, and to create a world where everyone can thrive." The crowd erupted in applause, a powerful affirmation of their efforts. Kalara and Jake knew that their journey was far from over, but they also knew that they had made significant strides towards a more inclusive and harmonious future. Their love had not only survived, but had thrived, becoming a beacon of hope for others. As they looked out at the diverse faces in the crowd, they felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had proven that love, when coupled with determination and courage, could indeed change the world. With the cultural center thriving and their foundation gaining global recognition, Kalara and Jake turned their attention to long-term projects that would ensure the sustainability of their mission. They knew that lasting change required systemic efforts and the involvement of future generations. One of their key initiatives was the establishment of an interspecies educational exchange program. They envisioned a system where students from Earth and Zeltra could study abroad, learning firsthand about each other's cultures, technologies, and ways of life. The program aimed to break down prejudices and foster mutual respect and understanding from a young age. Kalara and Jake visited schools on both planets, presenting their vision and gathering support. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with educators, parents, and students eager to participate. The first cohort of exchange students embarked on their journeys, sharing their experiences through vlogs and social media, which further promoted the cause. Meanwhile, the couple also focused on policy advocacy. They worked closely with government officials to draft and implement laws that protected the rights of interspecies couples and promoted inclusive practices in workplaces and communities. Their efforts resulted in groundbreaking legislation that set a precedent for other planets and species. In addition to their advocacy and educational work, Kalara and Jake delved into scientific collaborations. They spearheaded joint research projects in fields such as medicine, environmental science, and engineering. These projects combined the best of human and Zeltran knowledge, leading to innovations that benefited both species. One notable project was the development of a new medical treatment that combined human biochemistry with Zeltran healing techniques. This breakthrough led to significant advancements in healthcare, improving the quality of life for countless individuals. Kalara and Jake's relentless efforts paid off as they witnessed a gradual but unmistakable shift in societal attitudes. People began to see the value of diversity and the strength that came from collaboration. Their relationship, once viewed with skepticism, became a celebrated symbol of progress and hope.